Welcome to our presentation. Today's campaign that we will be discussing and analyzing is called Click It or Ticket, which is an adult education campaign analysis. This presentation was completed by Maya, Dante, Darren, Sanaya, and Sydney.
Hi, everybody. My name is Maya Ginaldo. Thanks for joining us today as we'll dive into the analysis of the Click It or Ticket campaign. So, this is a national traffic safety campaign led by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, which is also known as NHTSA for short. And it's all about promoting the seatbelt usage through a combination of public education and strict law enforcement by police officers and whatnot. So today we're going to talk about what the campaign is, who the campaign is designed to reach, and then how this campaign is delivered. Then we'll take a deeper look by analyzing the campaign through the lens of the adult learning theories like andragogy and behaviorism that we've learned throughout this course so far this semester. And finally, we will offer some recommendations to make the campaign more interactive, inclusive for all different types of demographics, and ultimately more effective in reaching adult learners across the diverse communities so that this campaign is super effective for its purpose.
Hey, I'm Dante. So first, what is the campaign? Click It or Ticket is run by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, and it targets drivers and passengers who are mainly adults with the goal of increasing seatbelt use and reducing traffic deaths. The key message is simple. If you don't wear a seatbelt, you get a ticket. The campaign happens every year, especially around holidays and high travel times.
All right, so what's actually included in this campaign? What's up, guys? My name is Darren, and so this campaign basically uses things like TV commercials, radio ads, social media posts, and billboards. Basically anything to get somebody's attention. Um, but it's not just ads that this campaign uses because another factor is the fact that the police have also set up seatbelt checkpoints and they will pull people over if they are not buckled up. So this delivery is both media centered and enforced by real life law enforcement.
Hi, my name is Sanaya Sider, and I'm going to be talking about the campaign's impact. So, the Click It or Ticket campaign has helped a lot over the years. In 2024, seatbelt use went up to 92.2%, which is a small but solid improvement from 91.9% the year before. Also, seatbelts saved about 14,955 lives in 2021. But with all this progress, there's still some challenges. Some people don't trust law enforcement, which makes it harder to get them to follow rules. And also, people in rural and southern states tend to wear seatbelts less often. And high risk groups like young adult males and nighttime drivers still do not buckle up as much as they should. So that's where the campaign needs some type of improvement.
Hello, my name is Sydney St. Jr., and I'll be going over the theoretical framework of the two adult learning theories that Maya discussed previously, which is andragogy, which is an adult learning theory, and behaviorism, which is a reinforcement theory. So andragogy basically is just about exactly what it means, how adults learn the best. So of course, there's many adults who they have to have a purpose of why they're learning in order to retain the information. And behaviorism, which is about how they are rewarded or punishments change behaviors, excuse me. So basically what that means, what necessarily do they get out of completing this actual reinforcement? So wear your seatbelt. Okay, what do I get from that? So these help us understand why this campaign works and where it can also improve.
So to further piggyback off of Sydney's comments, we're going to analyze using andragogy. So how she stated relevant, it has to be relevant for you to put your seatbelt on. So whether that's, focusing on your personal safety, or you could also think about your family safety. So a lot of the education has been reflecting upon keep your family safe. So that's why it's relevant to adults, because it makes it really personal, this campaign. And the practical application is it's a simple behavior change. I mean, truly, this campaign is not asking for people to really think about all that they have to do. It's a simple saying, click it or ticket. So click that seatbelt on, make it very practical for adults to utilize what, these law enforcement people are asking for. And then some self-direction. So this is pretty limited. It's mostly top-down messaging. So although this campaign is very great, it could use improvement because this campaign doesn't give adults like much of a choice or personal involvement. It's just an area where this could be stronger so that there's more of a buy-in. But those are the areas that could use some improvement using the andragogy concepts that we've learned throughout this course.
So, from a behaviorism perspective, this campaign is all about consequences. The threat of getting a ticket is a punishment that gets people to change, and the constant ads and reminders also act as reinforcement, but it's kind of a one-sided. There's not much positive encouragement for doing the right thing.
So, critical literacy, this is basically all about making sure that the messages are both fair and accessible, right? So, let's say that there is a sign or a social media post or something like that that is either not very clear about the rules or it is clear about the rules, but not everybody can see it. And another thing is not everybody speaks the same language. So somebody may see the post and it might be clear, but they it's not their native language, so they don't understand it. So one of the things that this campaign could do better in order to reach more communities and make sure that it is fair to everybody is doing things like offering it in different languages, making sure that it's posted everywhere that somebody would travel so that no matter what, you're going to see it. And they could work with local leaders because working with people and making sure that people feel comfortable and know the information is a lot better than just exercising your authority and making people feel afraid.
So, to improve the campaign, we have three recommendations. First, we suggest making it more interactive by hosting community workshops, visiting schools, and holding local events that can help build trust and make the campaign feel more personal. Second, we recommend improving accessibility. So that means translating materials into more languages, using clear visuals, and ensuring resources are available on accessible platforms for people with disabilities or limited access to technology. And third, we think the campaign should focus more on positive messaging instead of relying mainly on fear-based approaches or ticket threats. The campaign could focus on real success stories, offer incentives, and show the benefits of wearing a seatbelt.
So next we will talk about the strengths and the weaknesses of our actual campaign of Click It or Ticket. So some of the strengths is it is a nationwide, reach and data there is data backed effectiveness. So basically this means that the campaign works, like I said, because it is nationwide and it's simple, it's easy, it's catchy, and it's catchy for all age groups, but it could be more personal and less fear-based. So not necessarily putting fear into people, saying that, oh, if you don't wear a seatbelt, being drastic, saying, oh, it could end up in death, which it can, but you just want people to understand the effectiveness and the safetyness of why it is so important to wear your seatbelt. So some of the improvements we discussed and that we came up with as a group is that there can be more in community engagement, and reduce fear-based messaging, as I stated before.
So, in conclusion, while Click It or Ticket has been a very successful campaign in terms of saving lives on the road and increasing seatbelt usage, there's still room for growth, like all of my partners have stated throughout this presentation. By applying principles from adult education that we've learned throughout this course, like making learning more relevant for these adults, increasing participation from these adults, and making them feel empowered instead of, how Sydney mentioned, making them feel threatened, this campaign will be more effective. So, adding community voices, creating opportunities for some dialogue. Also, Darren had mentioned to, have these campaigns in different languages. These are all very important, and we want to promote positive reinforcement. So this could help adults not just only comply to the rules that this campaign is really trying to get them to do, but we can get these adults to truly understand and value the message as well as their personal lives and the lives of all the many people that are driving on the roads. So ultimately, the goal should not be to change behavior through enforcement, but to build long term intrinsic motivation for safety. And again, this campaign, it's all about educating, and education does save lives.
So here are the references we use throughout our presentation, and these include the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's official materials on the Click It or Ticket campaign, as well as foundational theories by Malcolm Knowles on adult learning and B.F. Skinner's work on behaviorism. All sources are listed here for further review.
All right, Joe. Thank you for listening to us today. We appreciate you. Please email us if you have any questions.